Ja Morant, what are you doing, bro? You making all that money, working in the NBA, being a superstar, and you keep putting yourself in these stupid ass positions, hanging around with real street dudes who gonna get you into some real trouble, gonna ruin the rest of your real life doing that dumb shit. And everybody taking up for you and saying how wrong it is, that you're in trouble for doing this again. They're just as retarded as you are. You work for the NBA, bro. A worldwide entity. That doesn't want to be associated with that. It's the optics of what you're doing. It's the influence you got on these little kids, man. The NBA don't want to be associated with that. And I don't blame them. No matter how talented you are, man. That's the problem. People covering for people like you. Until you do something you can't come back from, like maybe that gun accidentally goes off and hits the cameraman who's recording you, or some random ass person like it normally happens, some little kid getting fucking off because you're a retard and don't know how to handle them guns. You need to quit supporting that bullshit and get on to these people that our kids are looking up to, leading them the wrong way, knowing goddamn well he ain't never grew up like that. I seen an interview where he talking about his life was hard because some years his dad didn't make over $150,000 a year. So instead of going to like Venice or some shit for vacation, they had to go to Florida. Bro, them are rich people problems. And you out here making it like you didn't know where your next meal was coming from growing up, or you didn't know where you was gonna sleep. Like the little dude around the corner from my house, whose daddy ain't around, mama's a piece of shit, granny's too old to be taken care of. The little dude don't have nowhere to sleep at night, don't know when his next meal is gonna come from. None of that. That's a real hard life. That's somebody that should be doing what you doing, but that kid ain't doing that. You a grown ass man doing that dumb ass shit. And I want to get on Soulja Boy ass too, with his real super soft ass. Came out Ewing and shit, and now he's a hardcore gangster too. Man, get out of here. He the first rapper to do this, first rapper to do that. He's also the first rapper to get maced. And he wanna talk all that gangster shit since he got maced by CW. I can't believe none of what you saying, bro. You got maced by a little guy and ran and ain't get no get back. So until you get some get back, your real soft ass don't need to be talking about nothing about what you gonna do to somebody, cause we don't believe you. How you gonna come out you and get all that money and then decide you wanna be a blood? Y'all got this shit backwards as a motherfucker. Bunch of retards. Y'all motherfuckers probably got a bunch of yes men around y'all too. Nobody who really check the shit out of you like you need. Somebody gonna tell you how stupid you are and how you gonna end up fucking up your life being a retard. I don't understand y'all dudes. Y'all get all this money and then wanna play gangster and shit. Why don't you give up all that money and go live in a hood with the people to see how it really is, like in Louisiana or New York or California or even here in Jacksonville. Pick one of the worst neighborhoods and go stay in that bitch for a week with none of your money, none of your security, none of that, and see how it really is. You won't get on there popping that gangster shit online no more, Ja Morant or Soulja Girl. I really don't know when the masses started getting fooled by you capping ass motherfuckers with money. I don't remember when things changed to where if you had money, you was all of a sudden real, no matter what you did or what type of character flaws you had or any of that. I don't know when shit changed. Cause money don't make you real. Something else I want to get on. This actually has something to do with Jacksonville, Florida, and all these teachers here who keep getting arrested for messing with little kids, man. Numerous teachers already this year here in Florida, in Jacksonville, been arrested for fucking with little kids. I guess they ain't really little kids. High school, middle school, they still kids. And one of them specifically, Jeffrey Clayton, been doing it for over 20 years. And every superintendent we had, except for the one that just made the fall guy and fired, thinking that it would shut people up, was involved in covering the shit up. Numerous teachers, other school board members, principals, janitors, school resource officers, they all knew about that shit. They all knew about how Jeffrey Clayton was molesting his own students, because there have been numerous complaints throughout the years. And what did the school board do? They covered that bullshit up. And the news ain't really saying nothing about it. That's some bullshit. This is part of the problem. This is the same problem that Ja Morant got people covering for him when he's out there doing that dumb shit. I hope they suspend Ja Morant ass for a whole year. Maybe that'll teach his fucking dumb young ass not to do that stupid shit no more, or get them dumbass people he's hanging around with away from him. Your own people are fucking you, man, recording you and putting you online and getting you in trouble. Those your people, though. You probably talk about how they your day ones and you love them and all that, and they costing you money. They probably finna cost you your job. I just don't get it. On another note, y'all tap in. Check out this fire ass music we got coming. And the shit we already put out. I'll catch up with y'all next time. Tell me what y'all think about the whole situation, all three situations. More so, the two idiots who think they gangsters and got all the money, and these sick-ass pedophiles here in Florida fucking with these little kids and their crimes being covered up for 2 decades, and everybody's quiet, and only one person has been fired, and she was the scapegoat, Dr. Diane Green, who was just hired as a superintendent maybe 5 years ago, something like that. She was the scapegoat, and I think that's some bullshit. No other teachers, principals, school resource officers, janitors, nobody else has been reprimanded, fired, anything. Some bullshit. City of Jacksonville, Duval County Public Schools, that's a L, big L for y'all. And now we're gonna hire the original thought of Jacksonville as our mayor. This bitch more worried about defunding the police and doing all this other retarded shit instead of worrying about these fucking teachers and there's all these goddamn shootings going around here. That shit is retarded, man. Do you know that the extracurricular activities that the city comes up with is funded by the police departments? And y'all want to defund the police even more when they ain't even funded enough to keep any of the programs open? They keep taking away all the parks, shutting down all the extracurricular activities, and throwing these kids back in the neighborhoods that they don't want to be in, to be around people who are bad influence that they don't want to grow up like, but they ain't got no goddamn choice, because it's either that or they gonna get fucked with every day, jumped, beat up, shot, whatever, because they ain't part of the neighborhood gang. And y'all steadily wanting to defund this and defund that. Fuck our future, huh? These kids gonna be our future. And if we ain't got nobody to teach them, look what's starting to happen. They're running all over America, acting like adults, doing big boy shit, getting big boy time, crying like a little boy in the cell. Because none of y'all dudes in the neighborhood who so-called real street guys or whatever pulling these youngins to the side and telling them to get the fuck back on the porch. Nah, y'all out there handing them the ratchet, telling them to go out there and handle some work for your scary ass. Don't respect that. No real man respects that shit. Having some little kids going to handle your business. You a real man. You claim to be a real man. You claim to be a gangster. You claim to be this. You claim to be that. Take care of your own goddamn problems. Stop putting it off on these fucking kids and let them live their goddamn life. It's a problem, man. Kids want to grow up so damn quick nowadays. Let them stay kids, man. Shit is ridiculous. I don't respect none of y'all who do that. I don't respect none of y'all who are guiding these youngins into the same system that you bitch about, the same system that you say is unfair and racist and this and that. You funneling all these kids right into that same system with the shit you out there doing, the shit you out there teaching them. And you wonder why it's a revolving door with generations of the same family going through the same shit. Because there's not one person who's willing to break that cycle. And the lady I looked at like my mom's, man. She died a long time ago. Rest in peace. I miss her. But she used to tell us all the time, y'all gotta break that cycle. And she was right. It took me a minute to understand what the fuck she was talking about. But I finally get it. You gotta break that cycle. It may be too late for you, but it ain't too late for your son or your daughter or your nephew or your cousin or your homeboy's little son, little daughter, any of that. It's never too late to break that cycle, man. I don't get it. Ain't nothing cool about being locked up with a bunch of swinging dicks, being told when you can eat, when you can sleep, when you can go outside, when you can do this, when you can do that. Gotta watch your back when you use the phone, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out if somebody perceives that you disrespected them or whatever, man. Jail ain't the place to be for y'all youngins. They go there at a young age and turn so cold, man, because of how these institutions are. And when they come out, man, all the love is just like sucked out of their body, man. Because they got a shitty home life and then went to little jit jail or went to big boy jail and was around all them cold, callous motherfuckers, and they picked up on that same energy, and now they out here in the streets with no love, no respect, and no care in the world. They don't give a shit about who they kill, who gets hit behind the violence they create. And we can blame ourselves as a community and as a society for not checking these little motherfuckers and letting them run around and do whatever they want. Because we like to say, that ain't my kid. That ain't my kid. And the kid gets guidance from everybody in the neighborhood. Or at least it should be like that. Gotta get these dumbass entertainers, the ones who are bad influences, the fuck off the TV too. It's already bad enough they catch all the worst of the worst that society has to offer all over the goddamn internet. We don't need it in their homes and on the TVs too. Something gotta change, man. Or we're gonna have a whole nother generation of kids who grew up in the system, who are cold and callous and don't give a fuck, end up doing life sentences and all that. Y'all tap in and I'll catch up with y'all next time.